Hello, I'm Noelle with Paper Clipping, and I'm here with Liz, who's the education coordinator for Tattered Angels. Is that right?
Yes.
Education. Okay, she's going to do a demo here, and we've got some ladies working on a layout here. So let's go ahead and see what happens.
Okay, ladies, I'm just going to go ahead and start off by telling you a little bit about Glimmer Mist. Glimmer Mist is a water and dye-based product with a nice little glimmer on the bottom. What you'll notice here is that the glimmer has settled down to the bottom. The glimmer will naturally settle down to the bottom because of the fact that it is heavier. What you'll want to do before you start is go ahead and give your glimmer a nice little twirl. Rather than shaking it violently, what will happen when you shake it violently is that you'll get all of these air bubbles in it, as well as Glimmer Mist will start to collect in your sprayer, which will make it come out and make it actually fall unevenly. Also, the air bubbles, what will happen is that it'll start to spurt out and make it an uneven kind of a mist. What you want to do, how many of you have done that and actually gotten that kind of, okay. And I personally like that. I like the kind of uneven look. But what you want to do in order to kind of avoid that kind of uneven look, if you notice here, you can go ahead and spray closer, you're going to get a big old puddle. Spray further away, you're going to get kind of a splattered look, but with little dots. If you want to avoid those big dots, those are created, like I said, with air that's stuck inside of your sprayer. It's gravity that air is going to be in there. When your sprayer releases, it's going to let air catch inside of there. If you want to go ahead and let the air out of your sprayer, what you can do is start your spray off your project onto your mat and let all the air bubbles out first and let the tail end of your spray just fall. See right here, this one's actually starting. This one actually, I shouldn't have grabbed the bottle that had a whole bunch of bubbles in it. But what you'll notice, I'll go ahead and do it again here on the back side, is that the tail end will go ahead and lay that fine mist on here. As well, you can see all the air bubbles will be off of your mat. That way you get a nice light coating. What we're going to do here today is I'm going to ask you ladies to go ahead and take sea glass. You can see it's a very light color base. All of our color swatches on the back are matched to exactly what is inside the bottle. So you can see here it's a very light pale blue with a pale opalescent blue glimmer. We do have white labels, which are completely colorless, dye-less colors, and what you'll go ahead and see with that is it'll just give you a nice glimmer on your page. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take your sea glass and spray your entire page. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a paper towel and pick up the excess moisture. And what you'll see is that after you take off the excess moisture, you'll notice that the page is still really nice and glimmery. Even though I've extracted some of the moisture off of it, you would think that that would take away the glimmer. It actually doesn't. My first time that I tried Glimmer Mist, I actually sat there and I rubbed it because I'm so used to glitter falling off that I actually sat there and I rubbed it, and when it didn't come off, I thought, okay, this is the product for me. My husband was tired of going to work with glitter in his hair, and I was just tired of waking up in the morning with it all over the place, so this was just the perfect product for me. Also, what you'll notice too is that the sprayers, if you do get it, if for some reason, our sprayers actually are really nice, even mist. If for some reason it does get clogged, if it's been on its side, or if for some reason you're spraying a little bit too vertical there, what you could do is take the sprayer off and just tap it onto your mat, just break that glimmer up, or even just take a bottle of canned air and force the glimmer out. That'll really help. But for the most part, we don't get a whole lot of complaints as far as our sprayers getting clogged. The next step that we're going to do is go ahead and take our screen. I'm going to go ahead and take, this is our Garden Lattice grand scale screens. They are 11 by 9, and they actually come with coordinating stamps as well. They are offered with coordinating stamps. What we're going to do is move our page off to the side, put down a paper towel, and we're going to take our Olive Vine Glimmer Mist and just put a medium coating onto the corner of our screen. Clean off my area so that I can bring my page back here.
That paper towel looked beautiful, by the way.
Yes, it did. We actually have a full tutorial on our site right now that I did using those paper towels as embellishments. So you're just recycling, and I'll show you a little later. It is absolutely gorgeous. So it is a lot of fun. And the nice thing, because it is water-based, you can use it on your scrapbook projects with any other medium. Because it is water, it's not going to harm any of your products. But as well, it just gets your brain thinking in creative ways. So what I've done here is I've just gone ahead and stamped it here. I'm going to go ahead and give this back to you so you can use it. And you'll go ahead and do both sides as well there. Yes, you'll go ahead and use the tweezers to kind of press down. These are our brand new copper tweezers here. Kind of go with our vintage theme. And what you can do is just go ahead and press down just to make sure that the actual image is transferred. While you're doing that, I'm just going to share with you just this here is just a piece of plain white paper that has been cut by a custom die that has been created by AccuCut for us. These actually coordinate with our lattice work stamps, and the heart-shaped one that is included in the set, as well as the screen. Excuse me. They are available for sale if you're interested in actually using them. Make nice, cute little cards, as well as the stamp fits. It's kind of a little off-kilter so that actually you could see the different layers, and when we start to create it, you'll notice the different layers. So go ahead and put your page aside, and I'll give you your die cut here. And what we're going to do is just go ahead and take the Spanish moss and layer a concentrated portion of Spanish moss on. And I'm going to take my paper towel and wipe off the excess moisture. And what you'll see here is, even though I'm extracting some, it still has a nice color base as well. The glimmer will still give a really nice shine to it. So I'm not taking away any of the glimmer. I'm actually just blending it in together to make it a really nice blend. I'm just going to go ahead and, since I don't have another one of the Spanish moss, I'm going to go ahead and take this here. Yeah, and it just gives you a nice solid background to work with. I'm going to pick up the excess moisture, and normally what I would do, I wouldn't have you dry it, because when you are applying water to paper, what you're doing is opening up the weave of the paper. And I personally would like my paper to naturally dry so that the weave can naturally bind back together on its own. But for this project, I'm going to have you do a light dry with your heat tool, just to give it a real quick light dry, just so that the surface is dry. And when we screen over it with our screen, it will actually make a nice crisp image as opposed to blurring in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take the screen again, and instead of doing the positive, where we misted onto our screen and then stamped the positive, what we're going to do here is go ahead and use the negative image. And we're going to take again the olive vine, and I'm going to go ahead and hold it down with the tweezers here. I'm just going to go ahead, I'm about 6 to 12 inches away, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a light mist over it. I'm going to put it right straight directly on. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold it down and pick it up with my tweezers so that I can create that nice crisp image. The next step we're going to do, ladies, is go ahead and take our 11 by 9 inch garden lattice stamp. This again coordinates with our screen. The wonderful, wonderful thing about this stamp is the fact that it comes with reinforced packaging. So you don't have to go and find an oversized stamp block. You can go ahead. You don't have to take it off. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that?
No.
It would take like elbow.
No, it's hard
trying to take it. And so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and take my Stays On ink, my Sukaneko. This ink here, it's water safe. So if I wanted to add a little mist afterwards, I could totally do that and not have to worry about it running.
When you're using your smaller size stamps, do you also use that plastic backing, or do you just use your hand? Oh, you
No,
do?
I go ahead, depending on what I'm trying to achieve. If I'm using my Glimmer Mist as my stamping agent, then I'll just hold it up and I'll mist my stamp and then I'll stamp with it. But if I'm actually using ink, I like to use it because it's just a lot easier.
Even though your stamp may be small and this thing is big?
Well, they are more proportionate. So
Oh, okay.
you'll see, like I think in here, I have it down here where we actually have our smaller stamp sets, so the actual packaging will be a lot smaller.
Okay, I got it.
So, and you could also cut it up so that it just was a stamp with the packaging.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you can just go ahead and cut it, like if I wanted to just cut this and store it like that, I could totally cut it down, and then each stamp would have its own little backing.
Yeah, that's nice to know that you can do that.
Yeah. And then this is what you'll end up with, is a beautiful triple layered effect where you have the background, which is the initial background that we misted. Then we put the screen over, and then we misted over that to have the negative image, and then we stamped on top to have just the beautiful flourish with the heart on top.
It's so beautiful.